What's going on, WOD Prep? My name is Coach CJ. I'm the head coach here, and we are going to talk about what our next phase is going to look like. September 2nd, we start our what we call our CrossFit density phase. And so what we're going to do in this phase is we're going to really start to build in a lot of CrossFit intensity, a lot of mixed modality training, and really start to bring together a lot of the aerobic base that we've been building, some of the power expression work, right, and really start to get into the nitty gritty of building that CrossFit mixed foundation. Okay, and so the way we're going to do that is with a lot of interval work still, and a lot of pacing focus. Okay, so taking different pairings from different patterns, working different time domains, working some negative split focus work, power intervals, and we're going to run into, or we're going to start some monostructural density work, right? And so all that means is row conditioning. All right. Mondays, we're going to do some clean and jerks, full clean and jerks. We did a lot of complex power work, really focusing on the jerk. We did a lot of clean work in our last phase, so we're really going to hammer in on our clean and jerk. So we mixed that with the front squat cycle as well. Then into some jerk accessory work, so more overhead work. And then our conditioning on Mondays is going to be a mix, a week A and B, or 1 and 2, however you want to look at it. Weeks 1 are going to be a thruster driver, right? So it's basically going to be a different pairings with thrusters, going into 4 minutes of work, a chunk of rest, and each week or every 2 weeks that's going to get a little bit shorter on the rest side, right? So we'll be building out to 5 sets of 4 minutes of work, reducing rest from 2 minutes all the way to 30 seconds, okay, towards the back half. So basically 4 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest times 4 sets times 5 sets, and then that rest will start to decrease. Week 1 will be thruster variations with some sort of gymnastics component, okay, and maybe a row, but really trying to keep like couplet and triplets. And then the following week will be more of a high power output, right? Body weight stuff, more movements, higher transition, dumbbell work, box jumps, maybe some running, double unders, burpees, wall balls. So low skill, high effort work. Okay, and so that's going to really be the density and the completion of the day, and it's going to be a lot of CrossFit. Okay. On Tuesdays, we're going to go into a strict press cycle. We did a push press cycle before, a lot of pressing work, and so we haven't done a strict press cycle yet, so we're going to lean into a strict press cycle, and it's going to mirror our back squat cycle on Fridays as far as the design of it. And so basically what it's going to be, we're going to do an 8RM, a 6RM, a 4RM, and a 2RM on a pause. Same thing for the back squat, okay? Sorry, I'm just moving my screen around here. So weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be an 8, 6, 4, and 2 rep max on the strict press and the back squat, okay? On weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8, we're going to go back to a higher volume, and we're going to go to 7s, and then we're going to go 7 rep, 5 rep, 3 rep, 1 rep. And so for the strict press, it's going to be a no bounce. So no bounce into the next rep. So there's going to be a slight pause for every rep. And on the back squat, it's going to be a pause back squat. And then we're going to do some drop sets on the back end of that, okay, for the strict press and the back squat. The second part of Tuesday, basically taking some power work into gymnastics. This is what we were doing, and doing some pre-fatigue gymnastics volume. So basically, whether it's a double under or machine work or running or burpees or just an air squat, anything to get our heart rate up into bigger chunks of gymnastic patterns, right? So larger numbers, that chunk volume, maybe something you might see in the middle of a chipper, and working through that for a couple of sets, getting comfortable seeing a set of 30 chest to bars and understanding how you're going to break it up, and hopefully building bigger sets within that, okay? Then we're going to go into some row density work, okay? So just some row monostructural interval conditioning. So basically taking a 2K pace and then building upon that, right? So going with 500 meters repeats on the 3 or 1 minute rest, and then working through that, building a little bit of volume there, and then finishing the day off with some row sprints, maybe even some bike sprints. So just kind of working that sustained aerobic repeatability on the rower, and then working into some row sprints to finish off the day to just get comfortable rowing at a higher output. All right. We rest on Wednesdays here in WOD Prep, and we do that just because most of our athletes, and 90% of our athletes, only end up getting 4 days a week. So we prioritize Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays And then Saturday, while it is still a full training day, it is just a lower priority of a training day relative to the 4. Because we have a lot of athletes ask, what if I can only train 4 days, right? And this kind of helps us solve that. And so for that reason, we rest on Wednesdays and then go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Thursday, we're going to go into a little bit of a jump cycle, start with some seated box jumps, then some box jumps for heights, and then potentially some weighted vertical jumps, and just kind of switch it through there just to get comfortable, maybe trying to get a little explosive. Then we're going to do some hang power, some hang snatch work. So it's hang powers and hang fulls and complexes within that off of the ground. And then some more pace conditioning type stuff. So we're going to have 2 pieces. We're going to have a longer piece with the goal of negative splitting, so anywhere from 12 to 16 minutes. Working on different pairings. We'll start with complementary pairings that aren't very hard to pace and get faster within a workout. And then we'll start to build into compounding or non-complementary pairings where it's very challenging for you to understand or for you to address the workout in the beginning appropriately so that we get faster each round, right? So the goal of this first set of conditioning on Thursdays is to negative split all of our rounds within that 12 to 16 minute AMRAP. Okay. Then we'll have a decent chunk of rest, and then we're going to go into something in the 6 to 9 minute range. Higher complexity, higher power output, probably something that looks more like an open pairing, with the goal of sustaining pace, scoring the slowest round, right? So instead of the first piece where we want to start slow and get faster, this piece we want to basically take a pace and sustain it for the whole time, which is usually always our goal, but it'll be a little more challenging because we're scoring the slowest round only, and also because we're a little pre-fatigued from the first workout, okay? Then on Fridays, we're going to do that back squat. Same design as the strict press on Tuesdays. And then we're going to do some power interval work, right? Prioritizing machine pairing with burpees, a lot of bike and burpee work. We have we feel like the burpee is a cornerstone of training. And so we want to make sure that we have pretty much always have like a dedicated chunk of work to it, building volume, speed, different type of burpee variations, etc. And so that will build itself out. That will be in the much shorter time domain, anywhere from 45 seconds to 2 minutes, a little bit longer of a rest, and then getting comfortable with that. Then our bodybuilding work, will finish the day off with some upper body pushing and pulling, etc. And lastly, Saturday, we had a lot of success with the bench press cycle that we just did, so we wanted to kind of keep it in. We're going to go through a bunch of bench variations, dumbbell work, flat bench, incline, and then some horizontal pulling work, dumbbell rows, pendlay rows, etc. And then finishing, we'll practice with the sandbag. We want to get a lot of cleans and carries in. I think that's a really good way to kind of like increase low back tolerance to hinging and high hinging workouts, which I think a lot of people struggle with. So a lot of cleans and carries, etc. And then the final conditioning on Saturday will always be a run mix, right? And so kind of depending on the week, what everything else was paired like, we will kind of finish out the week pairing either gymnastics or barbell cycling or machine work or bodyweight work or even more sandbag work with some form of run pairing. So we'll always be running on Saturdays. All right. That's our phase. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about it. If you have any questions, you can always email us either at support@wattprep.com or my email cj@wattprep.com, and let's talk about it. Okay, I would love to answer any questions that you have. Thanks for taking some time. Hope you guys, if you're in the program, hope you're excited for the phase. If you're considering the program, we hope you join. We have a great community, and we're super passionate about what we do. So thanks a bunch. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on September 2nd for the new phase. Later.